Hello, this is the next video of series how AI writing a mobile app for me. This mobile app will access photos and will group images in photos by visual similarity. First thing first, let me present you a demo of the working application that AI already wrote. This is simulator of iPhone 15 Plus built using Xcode. So it has its own default images, plus I added some photos for testing of plush tiger. This is the application. It requires permissions. Let's go back. Start. Program goes to the photos, take 500 last images, in this case much less because I don't have 500, and group them by similarity in similarity groups. This is pretty simple implementation of the algorithm. So size of the figure does matter for visual similarity. Like here, for example, if you take a look on a tiger, plush tiger here, it takes big part of the photo, and for example, similarity group 3, this tiger takes less size on the photo of the image. But as you see, uh, algorithm is working. Plush tigers are grouped by similarity, eventually by size. What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? To display all the possibility that AI added to this application, let's go to configuration and modify a little bit. So how similar this is requirement for similarity of the images. The bigger number, the closer to duplication images should be. Let's rescan and check what will change. This is much faster because during rescan, when only how similar is changed, images are not reprocessed. So I believe here a change, yes. So as you can see, the lower how similar value is, the less demanding algorithm is to similarity, and the bigger group of similar images will be. And in this case, again, how you can see, this is irrelevant or independent from a fin transformation like rotation. Here is no mirrored image, I believe, only rotation of the plush tiger over the surface. Good. So you see, screens are added, controllers are added, uh, configuration is added and storable. Let's change language. Languages are added. I don't know. AI did all the translation, so I'm not sure is this translation perfect or not. If here are people who know Chinese, Mandarin, or for example Spanish, let me know how good translation is. So, in general, code is ready. I wrote a code. I was able to integrate my algorithm into this code, and this is working together. Good. Milestone accessed. Now to bad news. If you remember, I asked AI to develop a code that will be useful for three main operational systems: Apple, Google, and Huawei. And I don't have Huawei mobile device. I was trying or verifying the code on Apple device and on Samsung device. Uh, well, when code was done and I started delivering this code into marketplaces, Apple, Google, and Huawei, uh, AI told me that I can reuse Android bundle ready for Google to Huawei. I tried to reuse it and got rejected because internal testing displayed that access to photos functionality is not working. And it appeared that to support uh, services on a Huawei, I need to implement Huawei services support in the code. So um, I wouldn't have lied to me, but when project was ongoing and AI wrote a code good for all three operational systems, indeed it wrote code that good for only two operational systems, Apple and Google. I wonder why. But anyways, I asked AI to add necessary code to support Huawei services, and AI did it. So start generating code updates to files that I need to add into specific files in the project to support Huawei services. Here I would like to display you one thing that is crucial and important for all following information. Uh, okay, I was scrolling a little bit too down. When I asked AI to add support for Huawei services, I got the code, and this code was requiring here. Say, look here, Huawei services version 5.02.300. Okay, uh, this code wasn't buildable from the scratch. It wasn't running, so it was pretty long period of ping pong when I copy it and send to AI errors that I see. AI provided me updates to the code that I need to do or to configuration file that I need to do in order to this to start. And at some point I got errors. Let me show you. There were, I thought, final errors saying that something with services not working, cannot load classes, because it appears that uh, indeed Huawei have services of version 5.02.300, but those services are almost 4 years old. And as you can see, there are much more versions, newer versions, that could be used for this purpose. Okay, I told about that to AI, and AI finally decided, okay, you see here, let's update to a more recent version. Wonderful, I'm happy. Let's go back to this list. Uh-huh. Newer version is again important, 6.3.0.301. 6.3.0.301. Let's take a version. It has version 6.3 but 0.300, and it has 6.4.0.301 when AI proposed 6.3.0.301. Probably, I don't know. Maybe it was a typo in sources that AI used to resolve this issue. Maybe indeed it was some preliminary or intermediate version between 6.3 and 6.4 that was 6.3.0.3.1. Probably it was some additional version, or it's some mistake, or it's a lie. Well, we cannot tell lie or lying or saying truth regarding AI, but you see, all the information that AI provides, including code, including versions, needs to be verified. So, since I'm on a final stage of working with the project, code is done, and I'm delivering a product to marketplaces for all three major providers of the services. Let's summarize. First, uh, since this was built not only as a project but also as a system test, summarization will be as a result for a system test. First, I will list what AI has done and my evaluation of how much, uh, how big part of overall activities were done by AI. Important notification. Algorithm is written by myself. I didn't provide information about algorithm to AI for a reason, and I'm uh, reminding, requesting, notifying you to not provide to AI any restricted, protected, owned, closed, sensitive, or personal information. Then, taking this into consideration, for all the parts of the code except the algorithm, AI performed initial instructions with limitations that were related to specifics of my environment, and I have no plans to provide this specific to AI. Period. Everything else, AI proposed solution, uh, created code for this solution, and updated code to run on actual environment. Everything is fine. More advanced code, as you remember from previous videos, it was a situation when I have to go to specific forums related to Flutter in order to find better solutions or better controls for some screens to represent the information. Because things that AI provided me in response to my request, yes, in response to my request, but still it wasn't looking that fine. Okay, so I have to make some investigations to how to say, to make a better request for AI and to get better code. So final code mostly done by AI. Here a database reduced a little bit because this is pretty simple algorithm. It doesn't require too complex database and too complex request to database. Sometimes it is much faster to write database procedure by my own than to explain to AI what I want, what I expect. As for visual information, images generation, cover for this video. Some images I used on LinkedIn, some icon for this application. Everything was generated by AI. I'm happy with that. I cannot draw, I cannot evaluate how good images are. Um, uh, Here is 99% for eye-catching pictures in LinkedIn because either I cannot explain what I want from AI when I'm talking about split images, or AI not working that well with split images, so it is the best way to generate for split images each image separately and then put them together in some reductor. It takes 1 minute, not more. Services support. Services required to support activities of the application like screens, database, photos, work with images, things like that. Localization. Some services were working perfectly. AI proposed them, provided all necessary code. After some ping pong, code start working. Fine. For some services like localization, built-in localization, and in-app payment, like simplest example of the financial services, AI failed. So it proposed some solutions, but after for localization very long ping pong investigations, I was looking in forums saying that this is totally outdated services. So I wasn't able to start localization service and did it in app quickly and simply. In-app payment didn't start as well. I don't know why. I didn't spend that much time on that. So probably I will try again, probably not. We'll see. And release. For release, I mean build release version of the code, provide instructions on account creation on the market, and deliver this code to the marketplace. Building code. I had some issues with iOS, it wasn't building, but then I requested, uh, this is not relevant anymore, I requested from AI information how I can recover iOS version. I followed those steps, iOS version was recovered, now it is buildable. I'm happy, everything is fine. Google Play Store, Google Android was the simplest thing, worked almost always. Huawei AI recommended me to reuse Google APK or bundle. I reused it and it failed because it needs Huawei services to operate with photos and to access photos. Now it's not buildable at all for Huawei. I will try again. But anyways, accounts creation on the marketplaces. Apple account, I already had one. I cannot evaluate how good instruction is. For Google Play and Huawei, uh, well, AI provided all necessary list of all necessary steps required to create an account, but it didn't mention all the additional information and documents that I need to collect to pass some steps, and didn't mention that some steps will take literally days to pass. So information in form is okay. Actually, it was usable with some huge delays. It wasn't it cannot be used for planning of real activities. And instructions for delivery and passing all the necessary verifications for Apple Store. Uh, well, right now I'm on stage that application is failing for iOS version 17.5.1 on some devices. I cannot reproduce it using AI instructions. I cannot even find using AI instruction this operational system iOS 17.5.1, so it hanged. I cannot move further. Google Play. I'm on stage of close testing where at least 14 independent testers required to test this application before delivery. So again, I'm blocked. I cannot move further. And Huawei, I tried to use Google Bundle and failed because Huawei services wasn't connected. And additional actions are translation of all entries, texts in the application to support this in-app localization. Translation is done. When application will be available to people, I hope people will tell me how good this translation is. I can't check it. And operations with privacy policy. Privacy policy was uh, mentioned as very important step in all instructions where privacy policy is crucial for delivering up to the marketplaces, but AI itself cannot create privacy policy. It was panicking, it was hanging, it was crying, oh my god, I'm violating my own policies, and so refused to work with it. I asked AI to provide me services, list of services where I can create and host privacy policy. AI provided this list. I used one of the services and finished this step in 5 minutes. So, again, suit yourself. And now, as a system test results, let's review actual. Since this was system testing for me to understand what AI can, what AI can't in this particular condition, in this particular action, for this particular scenario, and this document not going anywhere, and I think it will not be used by um, any stakeholders for some decisions. I don't know. But anyways, uh, system all testing needs to be ended with test results. So requirements are made by me based on what I expect from AI and what people expect from AI, and test result original or normal test result should be pass fail, but since again this is overview, I added pass with comment and fail with comment to comment something. Okay, requirement initial claims that AI is supposed to do that it can. Yes, claim is done. As you remember, for Huawei, it lied to me. So pass, but with comment. Probably, if in each request I would add a line, don't forget to support Huawei, result would be different. But I didn't know that I need to add this claim. Initial instructions for starting operations. Everything is pass. AI did it for me. Again, important notification: do not provide to AI any restricted, protected, close, personal, sensitive information, and expect from AI inf- replies that doesn't take this knowledge into consideration. So from my point of view, I didn't provide to AI necessary information, so reply from AI I'm treating as a correct. In those only in those cases, in corner cases, in some cases, not always. Again, rumors about AI can take our jobs, can replace humans, and can do magic things. No, junior engineer for development of the mobile applications probably uh, with comment, because operator, manager of the AI, not the manager, operator of the AI system will have to spend with AI system as a junior engineer much more time that real senior engineer with junior engineer in its team, his, her, whatever. Much AI requires much more time, much more specific tasks, task assignment, task description, and all those things. And uh, your communication doesn't develop with AI in time in the similar way as between people in time. So if people working together, then during some period of time, their communication became shorter because they already built some common base of common understanding of things and things like that. For AI, this is not happening. You will have all your request tasks and everything else described in as much details as possible every time, period. And as you saw in all those videos, AI cannot replace senior engineer now, and because it doesn't perform like a senior. AI cannot replace architect because it doesn't build architecture of the application, doesn't have common vision of the application, and treat each piece of application as separate. AI cannot be mentor. It tries. So in general, the process is correct. AI gets the information and replies. This problem, for example, appears because of those conditions. I propose this solution, and this solution fixed the problem in following way. but since it uses outdated services, outdated versions, uh, incomplete, sometimes it replies with incomplete information. Uh, it doesn't have common architecture and fixes each piece of the problem on particular level, not like for a project in general. This is bad mentoring. Same is with tech lead and knowledge base. The first information will be outdated and sometimes incomplete or even incorrect. For code development, in this particular case, using Flutter for app, simple mobile app with general, I would say, controls on the screens. Basic code done, pass, no doubts. Advanced code, pass, but I'm as operator need to know what I'm requesting, so I need to have understanding about controls that could be on the page, on the screen to request them. General solution and some solutions sometimes fail, so fail. Recommended services fail because some of them didn't start, some of them did start, so with comment. And completeness of knowledge fail. With comment it tries but it doesn't work. Communication, written instructions, understanding, yes. Here I think it very depends on the skills of the user, skills of written communication of user, of operator. Written replies, yes, I understand it clearly. Quality of written reply cannot be tested in this test in this condition. Different conditions required, so probably most most simple scenario I see is multiple instances of the probably different AIs and some live people, you know, we're building them to some common preconditional background and then sending requests to them so they in that same background for everybody will reply, and then we can check quality of the written reply comparing them uh, with replies from different sources. But anyways, code, yes, replies with code. Especially I like this feature to copy paste code of the full page. Quality of code cannot be verified this in this test because I don't know Flutter, I don't know industry standards, I don't know naming conventions, I don't know coding conventions, all of that. Code working without modifications, I mean, I copied code, pasted it where I told to, and it's working. No, in most cases, but not in all. So, fail. Pictures, I like them. Again, quality of pictures, I am not a painter or a drawing master or pictures generator, so I cannot, in this condition, check quality of pictures. Probably same scenario as for written reply required. App development. For this particular app, basic, yes, no doubts. Advanced, yes, with comments. Advanced database code. Again, this is simple, simple algorithm, simple application, simple database, no very complex code. So not testable in this condition. And keeping in mind, let's say, overall architecture, no. Usage and config of services. Here are by service that I mentioned before. I displayed that yes, some services pass, some services fail, even after a pretty long ping pong. Already spent more than 1 day. But anyways, after long ping pong, service still not starting. Something wrong. And Flutter related forums saying that this service is outdated and providing another service with another instructions to work with. Same is for payment solution. It didn't start. I didn't spend too much time with it. Probably I will try later. And images generation, yes, I like it. Icon generation for the application, yes, I like it. Delivery to iOS Store failed for now. I am on stage where application failing on several devices with iOS version 17.5.1. Delivery to Google Store blocked because I need 14 independent testers. I don't have, so blocked. And delivery to Huawei Store blocked because initial code wasn't supporting Huawei, and code with Huawei support doesn't work. So those are results so far. I will try to massage this application in general, but you can see there is huge work ahead to make AI useful and return value much bigger than value of efforts required to be invested into AI. So thank you. Stay tuned.